Y'all heard the Knicks talk. You know what that means.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
Hey, coach, tell us what you think about the starting five going into the season.
Look at y'all new coach.
I think it's too early to go in and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. The roster, Leon and his group did a fantastic job putting together a talented, deep roster. And so you have to be methodical with your approach when it comes to declaring, okay, hey, these guys are going to start. Yeah, no, it will materialize throughout camp.
No one's committed to any starting lineup, regardless if it's Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson. We all would think it's, obviously Cat, OG, of course Brunson should be the first name, and Bridges now. We'll get to him in a second. Those are clearly the four, right? OG Anunoby, Bridges, Brunson, and Karl Anthony Towns. We're just waiting to see if Josh Hart will go to the bench for Mitchell Robinson, and I think we all prefer that. I'm glad that Josh Hart, he's joking about it and he's laid back about it. I think provide some sort of leadership with this team too. Just to have that, follow up with Brunson and the selflessness and just being his man. That's cool, but doubling down on the fact that there were murmurs when Julius Randle was here. He really didn't want to be here, and that there's no sense in that, especially when we're talking about. When we went at it with Gilbert Arenas, the first thing he said was, you think Dante DiVincenzo wants to sit on the bench after getting all those minutes and he's starting? That's going to be a problem, I'm telling you. So, ego plays a part. Josh Hart it's always speaking to the spiritual standpoint too. Like, yo, man, I'm a servant first, serving for my people. So him doing that, I think vocalizing it is one thing. He really goes out there no matter what, and he competes regardless if he's reckless. He's having a bad series, as AllBall loves to point to. Anybody who not overachieves, but figures out a way how to stay in the league when people can, in an era where you're supposed to be diverse on offense. That's not Josh Hart, really, but he finds a way to stay in the game. 10, 15 rebounds a game, triple doubles. He beat Walt Frazier for that. So I just like the fact that he can do that off the bench or he starts and his energy really doesn't change. And of course, Mike Brown, he's putting pressure on him anyway. I ain't committing to no starting five regardless of what Josh Hart got to say. I love the competitive spirit from the moment this thing started, and we'll get to, the odds on the Knicks winning the championship and going to the Eastern Conference finals AllBall. But I just like that, not that they sound like us, but that there's a little more 90s basketball in these guys than maybe we always talk about.
I mean, what is Mike Brown supposed to say? He's new in this situation. It's not like he was the coach last year, the year before, and now you have, healthy Mitchell Robinson at the beginning of the season. No, he's a new coach. So, he said the right things. But eventually, what I always say, this is all gonna fall on him. He better get it right. Because if he doesn't, he'd probably be out of here after the season. He has to get this starting lineup right. No matter how we feel about it, he has to get it right. And I think the right starting lineup is with Mitch because it puts everybody in a rightful position. Now Cat is at the 4. OG is at the 3. And now Mitch is at the 5. With Josh Hart in that lineup, it kind of creates for us bad mismatches. And everybody plays out of position. Now you have Josh Hart at the 3, you have OG at the 4. Good, I'm sorry.
Nah, but why does he have to say that? Why can't Mike Brown look for something to say? Like, he could say anything that's by the book. I don't think that was by the book. I think for him not to commit to a starting lineup, that's nothing that, like, not that I'm surprised by it, but it's putting pressure on him. Like, yo, I don't. But this is like in high school, anything, bro. I'm not putting anybody to start right now. I don't care how much you're making or whatever it is. He didn't put a name on it. So I just, he gave props to Leon Rose. But what do you think? What would you have been surprised by him saying? Actually making the starting lineup and implementing it from the beginning?
Yeah. That would definitely surprise me. We all know, like, it's no secret. It's either Mitch or Hart coming off the bench. Those are the only two that, he's going to have to figure out. Everybody else is, that's what it is. Brunson, Cat, uh, Bridges, OG. You got to figure out who's going to start and who's going to come off the bench between Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson. To me, that's the problem. And he has to figure that out. If he figures that out and gets it right, he's going to be a genius. If he doesn't, you already know how we as Knicks fans and as the city is, we going to flame him. There is no secret. There are two players that needs to be figured out as far as starting and coming off the bench. So for me, I'll let Flea cook, but I like what he said, but it definitely would have been a surprise. And I don't think at this point, remember, Mike Brown has to do everything right. He has to say everything right, and he has to do everything right. We just came from the conference finals, and now we have a legit team, and we have a fan base that now we had a little bit of taste of success. Can't go backwards. Remember, now if we go to the second round and lose, that's a failure. Flea, what you say? Last couple of years, teams that was at the conference finals, where were they at? In the finals. So I think Mike Brown really understands, and his team is smart. They're letting them know, listen, this is New York. This ain't nowhere else. No disrespect. This ain't Sacramento. This is the city. You see what they do when they win one playoff game. He has to do and say everything right. And I think what he said, I have no problem with it. No problem at all.
Lee, does Mike Brown have to do everything right? Everything, including his press conferences?
Yo, man, and the dude has a small window for error. I totally agree with OG. He doesn't have a large window for error. If they lose this season and don't win a championship, I can't foresee him getting fired next season. It has to be catastrophic. This has to be a catastrophic. It has to be night and day. We have to go 30-52. Like, we have to miss the playoffs. Like, we have to flame out in the first round. The Knicks are not going to fire this dude after one season. It has to be a total disaster for that to happen. For me, though, I like the fact that he's not committing to a starting lineup. Yeah, make camp competitive. Make guys prove themselves, right? This whole thing of, continuing to treat Mitch like he's a young player. He's not a young player anymore.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.